Hello everyone out there, this is Classic Vinyl Collectibles. It's been months since I have done any kind of video, so I got a bunch of stuff to show you tonight. I've just been focusing on my other channel where I am exploring the underground up here in Gold Country. Abandoned mines and caves everywhere. If you want to check it out, it's called Down to Earth Exploring. It's what I refer to as caving the underworld. There are so many places underground beneath us, it's just awesome. But I've got all these records to show you, ones I've been picking up from my friend's record store locally and also from Discogs. So I've been looking back and listening to my other videos, and I think I get a little bit too descriptive rather than just showing the records. If you know 80s well and 80s club singles, then you're going to know what you're looking at here. Let's get into it. This is Depeche Mode, Just Can't Get Enough. I would be fine to never hear the song again ever. It's just a really happy sound. It's on radio play constantly still. But this one here, this is the schizoid mix. When it goes up to the break and just goes into the solo of the keys, and then the strings come in and they keep saying repeatedly, just can't get enough. That's the part that I bought it for. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look for the schizoid mix. It's towards the end. Quite different than what we're used to hearing on the radio. Depeche Mode, Violator. How many tracks did you like on this one right here? Next one. Music for the Masses. Never Let Me Down, great song, except on the 12-inch. Pleasure Little Treasure is on the flip side, not on that album. Construction Time Again, another Depeche Mode. B-52s, Rock Lobster, I had it. And you know what, the way it is with collecting records like this, by the way, behind me, this is all 80s. There's 4 rows, 7 feet long, and then behind me, you can't see it, is all of my rave days when I was a San Francisco rave DJ with gatherings and Funky Techno Tribe, all of those. Well, I was DJing back then, but I flew out to other states, but I was a part of that San Francisco rave scene, and it's all house music, trance, tribal, acid house, and breaks. Anyway, B-52s, Rock Lobster. Someday I'll do a video of all that stuff. And for the audience out there that knows what I will be showing, it'll be stuff like Hard Kiss, Orbital, Underworld, Sasha, Digweed kind of stuff. Baby Ford. Do you know what this is? You ever heard this? A high-powered track. Acid house, but it's loud and it's a banger. Disco means ecstasy, X4, chicky, chicky, Part of the label is his face. This dude was awesome. I think he was in his early 20s when he did this. But if you don't know the track, Chicky, Chicky, by Baby Ford. This one here, there's not many around still to get, and you're going to have to splurge a lot to get one. On Discogs, Berlin, the Metro, I think this was 170 bucks to get this. There's 2 different ones. Neither one of them are cheap, and I don't think there's any represses, so I had to have that. So this is a shout out to my buddy at Classic Jams. Classic Jams with a K and apostrophe S. If you like my collection of 80s club tracks, we are the only ones that are showing it on that exclusive level. There's no rock in there. There's no heavy metal. There's no nothing else other than pretty much 80s breaks and hip hop and R&B. Mostly that Egyptian Lover kind of stuff. And then there's all this 80s new wave. So check out his channel, Classic Jams with an apostrophe S and a K. I wanted to show him this, and I want to show this to you. Do you know what this is? Boys Brigade. The song is Melody. It's almost like something OMD would put out, a cross between OMD and maybe even Flock of Seagulls. Nice stuff, though. That's the track that I got off of this. And you know what's really weird? This came as a backing for another record that I got in the mail. They used this to keep it sturdy, and it's actually a record that I want on my want list for Discogs. So I thought, cool, man, free record. I can scratch it off my want list and put it into my collection. But yeah, Boys Brigade, Melody, look it up. Blamage, Blind Vision. It's got those eerie sounds into it, and they made really good use of the electronic, the keyboards on the machines, like probably 808s. And then you had the Rolands. Their stuff always had those clapping sounds, especially Living on the Ceiling. It's got the sitar in it. Their stuff was powerful. Let's get into Bauhaus. Bela Lugosi's Dead. Great one here. This has been termed as the first goth rock record ever. 79, this is what started all of it. You wouldn't have Clan of Zymox, you wouldn't have Secession, you wouldn't have Sisters of Mercy, probably even She Passed Away, one of the newer groups of dark wave out of Turkey. Everything's in the dark voice Turkish language for She Passed Away. These guys kind of started all that. White on white, translucent black capes. And so moving on here. Another one, Bauhaus. She's in Parties. Remember his voice? I think he wanted a lot to sound like David Bowie, and he did. And I don't remember the words to this. I'm not going to ever sing it, especially on this video. But if you know it, She's in Parties. It has that incredible, great goth rock sound with the guitars in it. Next one here, The Cure, The Walk. You know, I love Let's Go to Bed. Nothing else sounds like it. But The Walk, I Called You After Midnight, and just an incredible track. I don't know if they're using kazoos in the song, but it's such Cure music. It has been said that the Cure are the one band that can take a sad song and turn it into something happy, even by the lyrics. Standing on the Beach, anybody who has this record is a Cure's greatest hits up until about, what, 86? Starts with Killing an Arab, Boys Don't Cry, A Forest, Charlotte Sometimes. So this all right here behind me, this is all goth and dark wave. This is my baby right here. I am a dark wave specialist, especially this new one, Male Tears. You heard of them? It's something Citizen. You want to hear the 80s brought back? Male Tears. It's something Citizen. Look it up. It's a banger of a dark wave track. And there's other stuff. Oh, another one, Power Man 5000, Black Lipstick. Came out a few years ago. He sounds just like Peter Murphy, but it's Rob Zombie kind of sound. Or no, more like Ministry. Look it up, Black Lipstick. But getting back to the Cure, Standing on a Beach. All right. Okay, you like ska music? Terry Hall, the Specials. They turned into Fun Boy 3. A little bit more darker and tribal. But this one here was it. I mean, this has got, ooh, Gangsters. That's my favorite. Gangsters. What great ska music. And then they had Little B. I'm not going to say it on my video here. Little B. And then Monkey Man. Great ska music. So my friend had this at her record store, and she said, I don't know if you have this, but it's kind of rare, and it's the actual 12-inch of If You Leave by OMD with these three on the cover, part of the Brat Pack. Alan 2.5 Men. Molly Ringwald, absolute beauty, and of course he was the 80s hunk, one of the 80s hunks back then. Made it into a lot of movies. Excellent record, though. I mean, OMD really outdid themselves. They did Secret and So in Love. Friends, if you lived during that time, 84, 85, 86 to 87, those were kind of the 4 years when all this was just hitting hard. What a great time it was for us to be teenagers, wasn't it? New Order, remember when this came out? The Perfect Kiss. And what's the other one? Subculture. And then Alasia is in Pretty in Pink. But anyway, it's got the OBI, a little bit wrinkled, but it's intact. I think his name was Steve Morris, drummer. You ever heard this? Give me your lips, give me your lips. The beat sounds like Relax, Don't Do It. I've got 2 copies of this. Look this up. Somebody put the full version up on YouTube. You gotta look for it. No Panic, Give Me Your Lips. This is one of those tracks that Steve Masters would have put on probably around 88. Banger of a track, let me tell you. What else we got? 7 Red 7, I'm Still Thinking of You. This is right up there with, let's see, Will You Be There, Celebrate the Nun. And then you had Count 2 3, Red Flag. Is that them? During that time, Cause and Effect. They were all kind of sounding like Depeche Mode. Well, this one is 7 Red 7. This hits hard. If you had a good system in your car, play this one. 7 Red 7, Thinking of You. Back to ska. The Specials, Ghost Town. Eerie track. It's not fast ska, it's really slow. But it has a horn in it that's eerie. Then it has a whole bunch of people kind of screaming. And if you know it, you know what I'm talking about. This town is looking like a ghost town all the clubs have been closed down. I think this was repressed for 25 bucks. That's what I bought it for on Discogs. What a fantastic track. Gotta love ska. Okay, so you know this one? Caliga by the Residents. They use the bass line of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, but the punch is really hard on it. His voice is super scratchy and low, almost like he's crawling out of a hole in the ground or under a rock. Have you ever heard it? Caliga by the Residents. Like I said, it punches really hard. Deep, scratchy voice. It's even got a flute in it. And you're going to love it. You have to get this into your collection. If you don't, then there's no sense in owning a collection like this. Look it up and get it, because you're going to want it. Another one. Anytime I do an 80s goth and dark wave party, the request is... backwards? No. Go. And it's on red vinyl, Beggar's Banquet. We're talking about Tones on Tail. If you know the track, you'll know the guitar in it. It sounds kind of like Cookie Puss Beastie Boys, the same guitar they're using. But this one is high-powered. And let me just say, if you had a club and this is a floor filler where just a whole bunch of people are running in a circle pushing each other like we used to do back in the 80s just for fun. It's not really something you would dance to. It's more of a, that's not even moshing, just running around pushing each other, having a good time. Whatever you want to do, you know, Tones on Tail, go. So I got this one here at Rasputin. The Selector, Too Much Pressure. This pressure's got to stop. And it came on this little tiny 7-inch. This came in it too. Let's take a look at it. Yeah. Look at that cute little thing. Yeah, free record. And this is on my radio. I love the way she talks in that. It's a fast, beautiful ska song. They're on YouTube, Tops of the Pops. Excellent quality. And also Gangsters, the specials, Gangsters, Tops of the Pops. Very quality video on that one. So yeah, the Selectors, there's Too Much Pressure. Mega rare on this one here. In Excess, The One Thing. When this song came out, I thought it was Duran Duran. I was still getting, it was 82, maybe 83. But I heard it on the radio and I thought, is that Duran Duran, this new group I'm discovering? I didn't know if they already had Planet Earth and Girls on Film. You know, when you're a teenager and you still live with your parents, you're very limited to money and what's out there. We didn't have YouTube and all that stuff. We had MTV. So I heard the song and I saw, my first picture of Duran Duran was when they were all wearing their white pants and the fedora hat, and it sort of matched. I thought that was these guys. Great record to have. It's out of Australia. Mega rare. Fun Boy 3, there we go. Now they did their version of Our Lips Are Sealed, a very tribal version of the Go-Go's. Take the Go-Go's and put it on the shelf. Bust this one out here. There's a weapon we can use in our defense. It's Terry Hall from the Specials, but it's got bongo drums in it too, and the humming is real nice. But the 12-inch, listen to the extended version. If you don't have it, it's quite different than this one. This one's the radio play. But when it goes into the break, there's a crash, and it goes into a whole lot of tribal drums and eerie guitaring. And this dude is doing some kind of, it's probably one of these guys, doing some kind of Rasta talking. And it's echoing. That was the brilliance of the new 12-inch play of the early 80s and late 70s. I think his name was Tom Moulton. Came up with the extended version for DJs. And that way you could jam a bunch more music in there for a longer play with wider grooves for louder sound. And that's what they did with Our Lips Are Sealed. If you know what I'm talking about, then scrap all of that. Otherwise, look it up. So there's not a whole bunch of these floating around on Discogs. Space Age Love Song, I Was Falling in Love. I love the video. There's smoke blowing everywhere. There's the water tank behind them, and Mike Score has his hair right over in his face, all sticking up. Perfect Flock of Seagulls look. And their covers always had captured this absolute 80s look to it. Similar to Duran Duran's video of Friends of Mine. They're all in those black pirate-looking outfits. I guess that's what you call it. But it has this kind of decoration in the video. It's very similar. One of my favorite tracks here. If you want high power, high voltage, later 80s electro, that's going to be this. This one is just pulsating, and it starts off quiet and it comes in louder and louder, and his voice is deep, glowing in the dark again. If you know what it is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I bought it for $7. Record Rack in San Francisco. Now it goes for like 100. But experimental products, glowing in the dark again. There's another nice tune on the other side too. She's the Mannequin. Beautiful song. Another electro, kind of trancey sound. But it's a beautiful song, Mannequin. So get this one if you're in a record collection of the 80s. Okay, let's get into the 80s romantic artists. And I'm talking about like Ian McCulloch from Echo and the Bunnymen. The video of this, The Killing Moon. And the camera is right up on him, and it's got tapestries in the background blowing. And this is such a beautiful song, if you know it. And it's on their album, Songs to Learn and Sing. And Fate, Up Against Your Will, through the thick and thin, he will wait until you give yourself to him. What a great, great tune. This along with Bring on the Dancing Horses. Especially when he says, under blue moon I saw you, so cruelly you kissed me. Great, great words, great lyrics. How about this one here? Dominatrix sleeps tonight. The women beat their men. The men beat on their drums. The dominatrix sleeps tonight. Such a cute song. I remember this being played at my friend's club in Alameda back in '87, the goth club. And great use of the synth drums, little bit of keyboards in there. But just the whole swing of this, if you know what it is, I know you do, the dominatrix sleeps tonight, it's kind of a track within itself. There's not a whole lot of others that sound like this, so really nice. Now, for me with Duran Duran, I ended at Wild Boys. After that, they started doing White Lines, and they just changed. And I like Duran Duran's first 3 albums. To me, those are the absolute best and the only ones for me. But their early look was almost like the male version look of Bananarama with all the hair and all the makeup. And I'm talking about this right here. Look at John Taylor. He was my favorite because of the bass. Boy, he can slap that bass. Very underrated. And his height is like, I'm 6'4" like he is. And then, of course, you got Nick Rhodes here. But, you know, everybody's got their favorites. But these guys, you want to talk about launching into fame, on a roll. In here, over here, well, I'm going to show you a couple of them. Look at these. Here, why not for the video? I'll pull these out. You want to see something? I'm going to pull them out for you. Look at these bootlegs I got. Duran Duran bootlegs. Look at this. Boom. Another one. First demos? I mean, why not? I'll show them to you. Discogs, somebody went through and made a huge sweep, and that's where I got these while they were still on there. Now you can't get them anymore. Look at this. One of my favorites. And most of these are on double packs, so, and colored vinyl as well. So that's how much of a Duran Duran fan I am. There is a box up there. It's about this long, and it's loaded with all 7-inch singles. I had to make a custom-made box just for all my 7-inch singles of Duran Duran, official and bootleg, square disc, picture disc. There's so much in there. There's South America, Mexico, Africa, Argentina, Japan especially. So if you look on my channel, this one where this video is, look back on all my Duran Duran videos. If you're a Duran Duran fan, and check out what I got. It's probably one of the largest Duran Duran vinyl collection videos ever. Okay, so I've said their name enough. How about Dead or Alive? Like Dead or Alive? Yeah, who doesn't, right? So I just picked this one up. Turn around and count to 10. It almost sounds like Italo Disco, which right behind my head, that is all Italo Disco. All vinyl. Because I went through the 80s and I hung around Asians. Mostly Asians, they were my friends, and mostly Vietnamese. they had the cassette tapes and they had record stores that were selling this stuff. Even for $7 a record, and to go all the way to San Jose from Hayward was a bit pricey for me. I was in school, I didn't have any money. But now, and these are all in my videos on my channel too, if you like Italo Disco. Last one. Let's have a black celebration tonight. I can't leave out the video of one of Depeche Mode's best albums here. Let's have a black celebration, which has It's Just a Question of Time. Clan of Zymox did their own version of it, and it's a banger also. So there's either Depeche Mode or Zymox. You just have David Gann on the original vocals, and then Ronnie Mornings of Clan of Zymox. By the way, I met all of them at their last performance in San Francisco. They were just right out in front, and they actually said, let's get Max in the picture here. And we took a bunch of photos. They're very tall. Ronnie Mornings is about as tall as me, if not taller. And they got the big old hair and all the makeup. What a banger of a band. They're in here too. And I just got Jasmine and Rose, finally on vinyl by Clan of Zymox. My buddy at Classic Gems just recently did a video showing their first LP with Stranger and A Day, which also has Cry in the Wind and Evelyn. Absolute beautiful, true dark wave. They invented it. Zymox, they're the first ones to come up with the dark wave sound, where you had others doing goth rock. So that is this stack. And then, gosh, oh, please. So let me ask you this. You ever have so many records in your collection and you have to go through all of this and all of that just to find that one record that's missing? And you've gone through all of it and you still can't find it. And then someday it shows up. That's the problem with vinyl collecting, is even though it's in alphabetical order, that's all my 80s, A through Z. It has to be. Sometimes I go look for something and it's still not there. And you're thinking, I'm just going to buy it again. I'm not going to go through everything. So that's the collection I've been wanting to show you. It's been months, and I thank you for watching. Where am I at? 22 minutes. Not bad for showing all this. I know I went through it rather quick, but if you know what you're looking at and you know what I'm showing, excellent. Look back at all the other videos that I have. If you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. And look at my friend's other channel too, Classic Gems with a K, apostrophe S. I think he's somewhere in the South. Might even be Texas. I'm not sure. Really cool guy. But you think you like my collection? Take a look at his. Put the two together and we could have a banger of a record store. It could be awesome, like Amoeba, I think. There's so much. Anyway, drop your comments down below. Keep it nice. Alrighty, it's nice being able to show all this to you. More to come. It's just taking time to do it. So thank you for watching, and cheers, man.